Listen up or run for cover. Dropping knowledge from the people who have it to the people who need it. The real Bradley Bombs is dropping.
What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. But today, folks, I got a real treat. JB Bethea, what's cracking?
Hey, how you doing, Bradley? Thanks so much for having me on.
Sure, dude. So this is gonna be a fun one, folks, because this guy's like a cross between Harry Potter and Dr. Suess, but you're like a character yourself. They call you the wizard.
They do, right.
And dude, you're a character. See, I just keep attracting characters. I always say, listen, in order to be successful, in my opinion, one of the factors is that you have to have character and be one.
Nice combo. That's a good
you know
combo.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like think about people. Oh, that guy's a character. Oh, that guy's a character. That girl's a character. Think about anybody successful in your mind. In your mind, who do you think's successful? Who?
Right.
Name somebody.
Tony Robbins.
Bradley.
Bradley.
Ain't he a character?
Yeah, he's different. Yeah.
He's a character, dude.
Right.
It's Tony Robbins, dude. That's a character. You're a character. And I'd say I'm a character. I'm a freaking character for sure. However, I think I attract characters. And if you guys were here, for those of you watching the video version instead of the audio, you already see he's a freaking character. But he's a real treat today because, listen, this dude's inventing stuff. He's creating something called futuring. Never been even talked about before. Why? Because he invented the word, but ultimately has a lot of books and mentoring programs, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And materials to walk people through a path to where they end up knowing who they are, what they want, how to get it, and a sense of peace, probably like nobody's business.
That's right.
I already pegged that you're a vegan just looking at you.
You did, man. That was
based on the hat.
Yeah.
Now, what are the strings? I'm
Jewish.
Okay.
So yeah. So
Okay.
these are called tzitzit, and then this is
like Jewish, like my buddies are Jewish.
I don't know who your buddies are.
But I'll bet you there's some sort of the purest form.
Okay.
Isn't it?
It's just, I guess it's just regular
Like Torah or
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I know, but there's Jews that do not believe in certain things. Then there's other Jews that do, and then there's like Hasidic, and then there's like all kinds.
Yeah.
Like my friend Jason Gerber, who's full on Jewish. He ain't got no strings hanging down.
Okay, he's got no strings.
So either he doesn't buy into that portion of it, or he's not practicing.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine those are pure of some kind. What are they?
Right, they're tzitzit. They're pure, if you like. They're the real deal. They're kosher. The thing too with labels, right?
I knew you'd be freaking killer.
I've got the Hasidic peyot, right? The long things are just tucked up underneath my.
Okay, so
hat.
it's Hasidic.
Yeah, so it comes from the word Hasidish, which means
is pure.
Chesed, really Chesed means like
the real Jews. Like the ones that don't wear those strings, and don't because Hasidic Jews that I've like watched and witnessed, with the things and the diamonds and like the strings,
right?
They seem very devout. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I believe, and this is evidence.
Right.
The other ones, like my buddy Jason and my other buddy Alan, and like they're Jewish, but they don't wear the strings and they don't do all that. Why?
So, I mean, the truth is, if you get really, really to the pure, it's about sometimes the letter of the law sometimes. So, like, really, the Torah says that we need to wear these strings on the corners of a garment, right? So if you're wearing...
So even the way you say Torah, see, nobody says it like you. You're saying it perfectly right.
It's a Lashon HaKodesh, right? So like if you go...
probably speak Arabic.
I speak Hebrew.
What?
Salam alaikum. I could speak some Arabic.
I gotta now come up and say Manyanim.
Minyan?
No, Manyanim. Besetra.
Beseda?
Is that word?
Beseda?
Yeah, Beseda.
Manyanim. Tov me'od.
Is that Hebrew?
Manya. I don't know Manya.
My buddy always says.
Manishma?
Yeah,
Manishma.
Besetra.
Beseder.
beseder.
You like blending beseder plus etc. You're like, yeah, I'm doing good, whatever, etc.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
see,
just
like
beseder.
you got like an authentic ass accent. Did you live there or something?
No, but my name is Israel. It's Israel Jerome Bethea. You know what I mean?
But you
That's why people call me JB or the Wizard. You know, it's
Yeah,
a lot
but you
shorter.
studied big time.
I do study big time. Yeah, every day.
And that's cool. So good. Well, again, I always say I'm a Krishuslam Jew.
Okay.
I'm a Krishuslam Buddhist Jew.
Nice.
Well, dude, I'm still looking. I'm
Yeah.
still looking
Yeah,
at what's real. But
Right.
but you know, you
The
go
Wizard
back,
is real. That's
well,
funny.
well,
What's real?
You go back to the Torah.
Yeah.
And you know, there's stories of the same things in different religions, and it's like that you got to think somehow, some way they're all connected.
Yeah, 100%.
And then somehow this one broke off and decided this was interpreted and this was interpreted, but I'll bet you it comes from one source.
I agree with that completely.
So I'm on the search because you know what? All I know is the scripture says. What scripture?
Right.
Well, like I was raised kind of Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother was Catholic, but then not really Catholic, so just technically Christian. So obviously, if you compare the Jewish religion to the Christian religion, the difference is Jesus. Well, was his name Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think his name was?
Not Jesus, because I think that's like Greek anyway. So like, if you just go back just the timeline, like you don't even need
But
to
what
be.
was his name?
So some people say Yehoshua, some people
That's
say,
right.
you know, different.
No, dude, not some people. That was his name,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, some people might pronounce it that way. But what was his name? Because if you read the scripture, it says, my children will know my name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, Jews apparently know his name because you just said it. A lot of Christians don't. Now, I'm going to get punished for that one, ridiculed, but that's my point. I'm just seeking. I don't know what's real, dude. I'll bet you there's a blend in all of it. Anyway, this ain't
No,
it.
I agree with what you're saying. The idea, looking for like the singular footprint, is part of what I pay attention to when I'm dealing with alignment, getting people to this one spot, because there is only one message. There's just one message.
And I'll bet you there's one source of truth.
I 100% agree with that as well.
And I'll bet you anything that we're going to get close to it right
Yes.
now. That's why that's why it's a real treat for the bomb squad today.
Wow.
Hopefully, you know, when we're done here, everyone's going to be looking you up and hitting you up on social media and DMing you and asking you a bunch of questions, and I'm just bringing you to the masses.
Wow. All right. Beautiful.
Who knows? But JB Bethea, and by the way, that's spelled Bethea, Bethea.
You know, those are two Hebrew letters. Bet, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey.
See,
So
Bet,
Bet and
Gimel,
Hey.
Hey.
So it's Bezrat Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Bet Hey, House of Hashem.
Hey, I've heard all these syllables before.
Have you not? You're like Jim Gaffigan Catholic. He's like, we're Catholic.
But
except on
JB
Fridays.
Bethea is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Or is it Bethea?
You could do that if you want.
How do you do it?
Bet Hey, just the Bet and the Hey.
See, you do the Bethea, but when you say that's actually a Bethea.
Bet Ha.
Yeah, see, like that's authentic. That's the pure. Where did you learn that from?
I love.
Did you live in
languages.
Israel for 100 years?
Yeah. Yeah. How did you know?
Well, who knows? Maybe this ain't your first time around.
That's true.
Maybe you're an old soul.
We certainly believe that too.
Maybe you've been around since the Aleph or the Alabet. What'd you say?
Aleph.
Since the A.
We're gonna offend or like make so many people so happy.
Why? All I'm saying is you've been around since
it.
the A, the
Right.
Omega, the Alpha,
Aleph,
the
yeah.
Alpha, and see Aleph.
That comes
Is
from
that Alpha?
Yeah. So Alpha is Greek, and then comes from Aleph.
And then Z. If you're from Canada, it's now Z.
Zed. I love Canada. That's for real. I really like Canadians.
Where are you from? Maryland?
Man, I'm from everywhere. No, Germany. I'm a German citizen. America also. And that's it. So I've lived in Hawaii, California, New York, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Germany.
Interesting.
So wir sprechen Deutsch auch.
Ja.
Ja.
Kann ich euch ein Bier kaufen?
Du kannst ein Bier kaufen. Du hast Bier in einem anderen Zimmer da, ja?
Fun. And dude, this was crazy too, because you or somebody just reached out of the blue, and I'm like, well, maybe. And then I go look you up, and I'm like, hey, this sounds interesting. And then sure enough, he shows up. Interesting.
Boom.
Folks, this is why dropping bombs is worth all the money you pay for it. And then they're thinking, well, shit, we don't pay for it yet.
Oops.
No, I'm just joking. I should charge for it, dude. I'm telling you, we drop a lot of knowledge on here. So let's try to help some folks out. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What is like alignment in your mind, and what is futuring, and your program impact, how it helps people find alignment and ultimately future?
Right. Futuring is a brand. It's a full brand. So it's a story. It's a book that's being illustrated right now.
Now, again, you pronounced that a particular way, that one.
Featuring.
Yeah.
Would you like to future with me? There really is no other way. Right. So futuring, it's that. And the it's really one of the touch points. So the book, the course, everything, we have it trademarked for a theme park as well. And the whole point of it is life designing the life that you want to live in. So that's why you'll see a tag on the Instagram. It says, "I'll see you in the present," which is the future you design.
Would I be remiss if I didn't assume that somewhere in the title of the park would be the word magic? Like the theme park has to have something to where in the tagline it says magical or something.
Magic.
Well, yeah, because this feels almost like one of those books that, like, could end up being a spell. And have you ever thought about, by the way, the word spell? Like, how do you spell the word love, for example, Love, where we're spelling? Why do they call it spelling? Is it a spell we're casting with a word?
Letters, especially the alphabet, they've got energy in them. Letters, words.
And then again, you go back to the original creation.
Yeah.
Spoken.
Right.
He didn't create anything. He spoke it.
Right.
And now, when you use letters to get someone to say something a particular way, because that's what letters do, they allow you to speak. Like if I see that your name is Brad, I would be like, oh, Brad. So basically you're giving me those letters. You're spelling the word Brad, but maybe the word Brad or the name or the word itself is the spell. Do you believe that?
Certainly, because when you have that energy go out from you, right? Because it's wind. So when you have that wind and it's articulated a particular way, it has an impact on everything.
Yeah.
So based off of which wind, which word, which phraseology you're using, it will certainly have an impact. We know this by, the spell itself. If you would take words and letters and place them, we did this on plants, yeah? There was some study on Facebook. They took horrible words, if you like, and they put it on one plant, and they took positive words and put them on a different plant, and the one that had the positive words thrived, and the one that had the negative ones died. So that's some fascinating stuff.
Fascinating.
So there's power in these words, power in speech, power in wind, power in intent.
Okay, so I'm not going to interrupt only because if I don't. The reason why everybody always MFs me on this podcast when you see comments, it's like it's either, man, you're fucking awesome, or shut up and let these motherfuckers talk. But the reason why is because if I don't say something, I feel like I'll forget. And because I think what I have to say is so damn important, I just interject. And since it's my show, no one ever says anything.
Right.
So in this case, I'm going to try to just listen because
Okay.
I'm very interested in this, like futuring. Would you like to future? That sounds like something almost magical. Like if someone reaches out to the wizard is real, and the whole wizard and the hat, and, I mean, this is all like, dude, this should have cost money. I should have paid for this appearance. Like, dude, I'm telling you. And then obviously you're highly intelligent. You've done your research. Like, dude, this could be, folks, the most valuable dropping bomb episode in the history of the world. Yeah. Could be.
Or it could be.
Sounds like it has the potential. Because dude, this is interesting shit. You have a program basically where you teach people how to be in alignment. Now, what does that mean? In alignment. Now, I'm going to try to be quiet. But what does that mean in alignment?
All right. Alignment means that you is similar to Wim Hof talks about this. He says, how can I explain the cold? I can't really explain the cold, but once you've experienced it, you can't unexplain it. You can't understand it, right? You get it once you experience it. And that's what alignment is. Like you're breathing right now, even through your nose. If you got sick and then you couldn't breathe, once you got healed again, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this is what breathing is. So alignment, and one of the other people, they say it's like the soul, the chiropractor for the soul. Once we get you in alignment, right, you're able to do a lot of different things. You won't have numbness in your thigh. You won't have numbness in your fingertips.
Yeah, but I don't have numbness in my thigh or fingertips now.
Right. So let's say you're already in alignment. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Well,
All right.
if numbness in my thigh and fingertips is a requirement for being out of alignment, I am not out of alignment.
Okay, so let's say you're not. That's not the indication. That's the physical ramifications of not being in alignment with your spine. Let's say.
Oh, with my spine.
But when you're not in alignment with your soul, when you're not in alignment with your purpose, with your goals, with your wants, with your wishes,
I may be out of alignment here. Then
right.
what?
Then you feel fatigued. You feel sad. You don't feel fulfilled. You feel like there's something missing. You feel trapped. You feel possibly angry sometimes. You know that there's more, but you're not quite sure what to do about it. There could be frustration or anger. Relationships could struggle. All of these things are ramifications of not being in alignment. So alignment simply takes your wants. Who are you? Like who? This is what we talk about. Who is Bradley? For real,
The real being.
The real Bradley. Who is he? Not what does he do? Not what roles do you play? Not who did other people say you should.
Not what are
be.
my titles.
Not your titles.
Not what are my achievements.
Not your achievements. Not what your
Who am I?
Who exactly? Without judgment.
Yeah.
So if there were no consequences for you right now, and then we knew that God would not zap you, and you had no criticism from Catholicism or Judaism or anywhere, what's really happening inside of you?
I already believe that. I already believe that's the case.
There
will be no judgment of me, because if everything I've heard is true, then he's loving, and he knows that I'm just a fool trying to find him.
All right.
Right?
See, and that's what we're figuring out.
Now, again, I also, if I know me, could be like, dude, no, that's a freaking excuse, so you don't have to put in the work and do the real work, like wear strings,
right,
and freaking don't eat that kick-ass bacon,
right,
and frickin', don't forget the Sabbath and all the other rules he's laid down before us. How'd this turn spiritual? I don't know, but I'll bet you finding your alignment has something to do with spirituality.
Really, what futuring is, and also this alignment,
and then you won't just see, like, you won't say futuring. You have to say futuring. What futuring is, like, why is the Harry Potter voice required?
I don't want to say it just came along with it,
or it just
it's
the person that showed you was
the person that showed me. No person showed me that, but that's what goes along. That's the alignment with it.
But someone gave it to you. You must have tapped into the universal intelligence. You believe in that?
I 100% believe in that.
So do I, and I believe that we're already tapped in.
Yeah, I believe we can be tapped in.
I believe we are tapped in. The question is are you aware of it, and can you turn on and turn off and turn on? Like, in other words, pretend your house has water, but you don't understand.
Yes.
You don't understand
right.
that. So you're licking out of the toilet when all you have to do is turn this faucet.
Exactly, right.
And now you've got fresh water. Why are you licking out of the toilet?
So that's like a radio signal. So I talk about that there's one message going out. There's one radio signal. All you have to do is lift your antenna. If you can lift your antenna, then you can get the frequency and then tune in. That's alignment, because there's one message. And if everyone would tune into that one signal, we would all be able to be tapped in and living our full lives, reaching our full potential. And there's so much room. There's so much, let's say, abundance, right, for everyone to tap into this. And if we don't tap into that, there are consequences. There's hurt, there's pain, there's anger, there's sadness, all these different things, right? And so sickness, yeah,
diarrhea,
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Ulcerative colitis, other problems that are ultimately the curse of being a human being, right, in the flesh. Not the being, the flesh.
Right.
There's all kinds of problems.
I think that if we could blend this spiritual realm with this physical realm, that this quote unquote curse of being in this flesh would not be quite like that. We'd be able to enjoy this place.
Oh, I do enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
only though because I believe I'm enlightened.
Okay.
Like, for example, a lot of people wake up every morning, they're all pissed off, they're freaking upset, they're thinking about the day before or tomorrow, and either way they're not living today.
Right.
Okay, they might be futuring the wrong way.
That's right.
Which is anticipating things that are likely not even gonna happen, which, by the way, cause you to choose and do and say different things, which then prevents your future to even show up.
Right.
So it's almost like you're basically holding yourself back, screwing yourself. But
there are movies of the mind that we're watching all the time. So what I suggest is, why not watch the movie where you win?
Yeah.
'Cause a
Well,
lot of
I
times-
want to learn how to do it while we're on this podcast.
All right, let's do it.
So like, how do you get someone into alignment? Get me into alignment real quick.
Right now.
If you can.
Gets pretty, vulnerable. But
Go ahead, but I'm the real dude. Because again, I mean,
Right.
Even if I say I ain't answering that, dude, you can ask any question you want. But
Okay.
how do I? Because you
Right.
know why? I want to be aligned. I'm
I
not
know.
sure if I am. Again, when you were telling me, oh, you'd be fatigued. I'm not fatigued, dude. I
Right.
go to bed at 11 or 12. I wake up at 5. Like I have energy. I'm happy. My perspective's right. But I'm not where I want to be.
Right.
And I'm getting fucking tired of waiting.
Right.
Like, God damn it. Not literally, but what the hell? And by the way, I like when people say, you can't take the Lord's name in vain. You just said, God damn it. Listen, God is a title,
Right.
not a name.
No.
And I didn't take it in vain. I did the opposite. Because in reality, vain, if you look up the beginning and the true origins of that word, vain simply means to make meaningless or useless.
Mm-hmm.
So how much more meaningless can you make a name by not using it? So by not using his name is making his name more meaningless than using it. So when people think you say, God damn it, don't take your name in vain, they're thinking, number one, God's a name, which it isn't. And number two, vain means like you're using it to curse. And it doesn't
Right.
even mean that. It means to make meaningless and useless.
Right.
So by saying, God damn it, that's actually doing the opposite. I'm making it mean something. But anyway, I digress. I don't know why this keeps going that way. Probably because a lot of times I don't get to talk to people that I believe or assume have high levels of research in the spiritual world, the truth, the source. So alignment, you basically get, right now people are driving around going, fuck, you never said it because you interrupted me.
So one of the things is like this, and this is you. What I love about working with CEOs and celebrities is there is always something else they want to get to. There's something else they're wanting to push past. There is a potential that's not fully activated, and that usually drives them a bit crazy.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Right,
Like,
that's-
I know I want to be a billionaire, but that's just, keep working, grow, recognize opportunities. It'll happen. I know that. I
Right.
know it'll happen.
Right.
When, I don't care. I know it will. But what you just said, it's like I feel like there's something.
Yeah.
I need to maybe there's one more
Yep.
that needs to pop into
Exactly.
place. So let's try to do it to me right now.
Right. So what I'm looking at, take a look at a few things. I'm listening to your voice. I'm looking at your eyes. I see dropping bombs. I see what this is all about around here. I learned a little bit more about Lightspeed BT, what's going on there. And, one of the things I would look at with you is what's your atomic core? Like why? Right? You want to be a billionaire. That's meaningless, right? What's that mean? You want to be a billionaire. What's it mean? You want to, what does this mean to you? What are you going to do with that?
I want to be able to financially change lives. Financially.
I have to pull the pen out on this. This is getting good. Financially change lives.
Yeah,
Now,
because dude, with $1 billion, I will have enough. And I want enough. And what's enough? I don't question what's my enough, people. It's just what's my enough. I want the ability to go and do and have whatever I want. Then have the ability to bless and help and financially make a difference in people's lives. Because a lot of times people are quick to give advice, but you need 50K. Dude, I'd love to be able to give 50K. I'd love to be able to go, like yesterday, I went out to lunch, waitress, pregnant, late term, working. Poor girl is working because she needs money. Okay, that's obvious. So get to talk to her, find out, hey, she's a really sweet person. Next thing you know, boom, drop her $100,000 tip. Why? Because that's going to make more difference than saying, one day this will all pay off. Here's a bit of advice, but just keep struggling. But then again, when do you do that and when do you not? I believe that I won't be the one writing the check. In other words, I'm not going to decide who gets it. Someone else will. I'm just the vehicle through which it flows.
Okay, so you'd want somebody else to make the decisions on where it goes and when, but you want to be able to be the fuel.
No, that
in the
was my
tank.
way of being spiritual. In other words, I think thus God will tell me and determine. In other words, I'm just the steward of that wealth. But I am the steward, which means, hey, because we're all stewards of money when it boils down to it. Your money's not your money. It's yours until you decide to give it away for something else. And then when you die, it's gone. It ain't yours. So money's temporary. It's temporarily yours. So I want over $1 billion to be temporarily mine while I'm here on this earth. So ultimately, I can have what I want and financially help people.
Okay. So what I'm listening to here is there's a big leaning obviously on religion with you, and then finances, right? So for some, I don't know if you feel or felt criticized for having more money, or if you tend to justify it, right? It's like, if it's just no, I'm gonna have $1 billion because I want to help people, which is great and cool. And then there's a little bit of, I'm gonna be spiritual. There's a lot of spiritual talk happening, right? So I'm not saying we need to go. It doesn't really matter how you were raised, but because that's looking back. But I just would want to show you that in this particular moment, this might not be you. That's what I would just say. Like, this might not be you.
It might not be the real.
No.
Right. So who's the real?
That's exactly. That's what we want to find. And then once we find that, we know what your atomic core is. And when we find out what your atomic core is, it's literally like a submarine.
Yeah, but then what if I my atomic core, dude? I want to be eating bark in Northern California, or Oregon at Crater Lake, and I just disappear because, man, it just doesn't matter.
Right. So that's a fear.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Well, you don't want to because you're afraid of that right now.
Well, not only that, because, like, dude, come on, man. I ain't going to enjoy living in a forest by myself, eating bark and looking at the plants and wowing over the majesty of the mountain. And, because I mean, theoretically, dude, you could literally just get so enthralled with nature. Mm-hmm. You become, like, who cares about steak and a Ferrari? Mm-hmm. Like, let's go look deeper. Like, look at that fern.
So at that point, there's a balance situation. So when we deal with alignment, we want to also be in balance. So it's very easy to go and stay in nature. But I think you also believe that we have a role to play here. So neither one is wrong. We want to have balance with everything. We want to have balance with your $1 billion. We want to have balance with your happiness. We want to be able to help other people and help ourselves. It's not simply not wrong that you want to fill your cup first. It's the way to do it healthily and in balance. You want to feed people from your overflow.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Hey, boom.
Oh, okay. We got the bomb.
Well, that's because I always tell people, listen, whenever, because people are listen to this podcast mainly, they're entrepreneurial. Mm-hmm. They're looking to fill up their cup, right? And I say, look to help other people. You keep hearing everybody tell you to help other people, but sometimes helping yourself first is the wisest thing to do. Why? Because until I help myself, I can't help you.
For sure.
So I'm helping myself, and then I think some people find guilt with that.
That's right. But we can balance this out a little bit again, because everything just needs to have this balance, and this is part of alignment, because we still have MPACT to go through.
All right, so keep go. I won't say another word.
Okay,
I'm just answering
But I'll
questions.
say this one thing. This is the 70. I love the 72K concept about money making you happy. This is really, really important. Okay. So a lot of people, especially because of some religious influences, feel that it's bad to think that money can make you happy, and this is evil, and the money's the root of all evil, and it's better for us, right? There's a Christian idea for the rich man to go. It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle and for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. That's right. That's right. So what's happening here, though, is money can and does make you happy. And there's studies on this, and that's good.
Is that a statement?
Yeah, it's 100% a statement. Now, here's an important part. Up until 72K. After that, it does no longer make you happier. So I think if both...
Now, see, again, disagree.
Well, this you could disagree with Harvard if you want, but don't disagree with me. But watch this. Just hear this out. After 72K, the issue that happens is people then begin to believe that more money can increase the happiness. It doesn't. Now, less than 72K, you can actually experience sadness, not feeling good, not all of these negative things. So up until 72K, that increases the happiness. Afterwards, can you do more? Will you feel more fulfilled? No, you must look at your atomic core. This is what happens when people get depressed, don't feel fulfilled, don't know what's happening next, don't have clarity. It's because they attribute the rest of their happiness to increased money. That does not work.
Well, I would agree with that statement.
Right. So there are aspects of the increased money that enable you to then enjoy something different. That's fine, but it's not money.
Yeah, but 72, like if you'd have said 720.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 720,000, not 72,000.
72.
That's $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference between a fucking Lexus and a Benz.
The difference
That's the
between a
difference
Lexus and a
Benz and a Bentley, and that's the difference
Right.
between a Bentley and a Rolls, and that's the difference between a Ford and a Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is a difference, and you are happier driving a Ferrari than
No.
you are an old piece of shit.
Well, at 72K, you will not be driving something this old like that.
Dude, yes you will. Yes you will. What you driving at
So-
$6,000 a month minus taxes? You're only taking home $4,000. Where do you live?
Depends on what kind of taxes you're
But where
paying.
do you
Depends if you're an
live?
entrepreneur or not. Depends
you-
if you
are
live in
you-
California, if you live in Florida. Like,
Exactly.
you understand? So
But you're-
adjust this
that ain't a
number
lot.
so that it's not the difference between 720 and 72. If you want to fluctuate between 72 and 100, you can. But
Okay,
still,
let's
we're
go
in the same.
120 at least.
We can call it that if you like.
All right,
But we're in the same conversation still.
Yeah, but 120, I would start to believe that your statement's true, or Harvard's, or whoever told you
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
So great. Go
money
to
doesn't
120.
make you any more happy, because I'd be more happy living in a nicer house than just a basic house.
No,
I would.
you have got to drop that.
I know, but I would.
No, but
I'm
you've
just
got
telling
to
you the
drop
truth.
that.
It's true.
No.
Yeah, like a nice couch is better than a shitty couch.
Well, you're comparing less
Like
than
have
72.
you ever slept at a Four Seasons?
I don't know.
Go sleep at a Four Seasons and then a Motel 6. They're both places to sleep. You should just flat out be grateful. So $72,000, you're probably not staying at Four Seasons. It'd take, your paycheck for 2 nights in San Diego. So you don't stay at Four Seasons when you're making $72,000, but you're making a little bit more. You can, and the beds are 20 times more comfortable. The amenities. I'm so much happier
This
at
is
a
not
Four
a
Seasons
disagreement.
than I am Motel 6.
You're not more happier. you might enjoy it. You might like it. Listen, I've
define
driven
happy.
cars that were whatever, and then I drive a car that I am very grateful for now. And would I say I'm very grateful, right? But my happiness isn't dependent. As long as it is dependent on these things, then we cannot reach our $1 billion goal. Period. Not with balance.
Yeah.
We have to fix that at the core. So like with you, I would spend some time in this spot, because if we can fix this core situation, then getting to the billionaire level or any of your goals is easier because everything's in alignment.
Yeah. So what do you think my problem is? Where am I out of whack? I like money too much? Or
No.
I don't like it enough?
No, I think what I would say pretty clearly is there's just guilt.
Guilt for what though?
I don't know who did it or who said or what you accepted for your own, but the main thing is you can just like let that go. Money's okay.
Hey, you're talking to the choir here.
Yeah, but
I say that all the time.
when as long as we have to defend something, like it really isn't our own yet.
Yeah.
So we have to get to the spot where we don't have to defend it. So what I love about you talking, quote unquote, cutting me off a lot, is you're talking. A lot of times I'm on a call and then the person talks 80% of the time. That's good stuff because I'm just taking notes like I did here. And then there's like 2 or 3 things that pop out. And then there's a 2mm shift. The 2mm shift here is there's a lot of defense around religion. I mean, I don't want to, put this, but there's a lot over here. So like we have to unfold that. And
How long does that take?
there's a lot that happens over an hour. And then we just do it for 7 more weeks. And
Hour a week?
yeah, an hour a week. Yeah. And then what happened?
When I say how much is it, then I'll know whether you're driving the Bentley or the Volkswagen.
I don't drive a Volkswagen. So,
But dude, this takes your time though.
yeah, which brings me back to what you were saying about this is worth what people pay for dropping bombs. Time is very expensive. Money's very cheap.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, right? So this does take my time. So because it takes time, and it's not a course, it's automated, over there. But the people that I take on are people who are open. They certainly want to get that 2mm shift fixed. They're people who I feel it's beneficial to my own time and soul because it is my time, right? So money is just a piece of energy, and it's the lowest form of energy exchange. That's what money is. Money is energy, and it's the lowest form of energy exchange. Again, this is expensive. People, because you can't really get more of that, but you can always get more of money. So, so about an hour and 10, 20 minutes, and then it's recorded. So you go back and listen to it. And there's so many things that just come up. And really what's happening, they call me the surgeon too, because I go into surgery, right? So when I'm going in and I'm listening and I'm taking these notes, we just oftentimes have to reposition a few things just move this over here, move this over there, and then cause you to think about something just a little bit different than you did before. And that unlocks a lot of worlds. And that happens usually in the first session.
And then what's the result of coming out aligned?
Yeah.
Like, can there be tangible results?
Yeah. That's why people started calling me the wizard. So before I was just like a coach, or you know what I mean, public speak, because my acting background, I was like, I wanted to help people to speak with confidence. So different things. I've had people, I'm not saying they should do this, but people stopped seeing their therapist almost immediately. They said that you fixed 25 years of damage in one session, in 1 hour. They say, why this happened with Charlie? He is a Emmy Award winning, Grammy Award winning guy on front cover of Runner's World magazine, and people just weren't hiring him. And after a couple of sessions, all of a sudden the calls started coming in, and then his asking rate, which is pretty high, 5 figures plus, started coming in. And he says, "What did you do? I don't feel like we even spoke about business. I feel like you're just a wizard that lives in the side of a mountain and you popped out. As a matter of fact, I'm taking your name out of my phone. And I'm just putting the wizard." And he's the one. That's why I go by the wizard now. But the tangible results is typically more money that you're sitting on that you didn't quite realize was there. I have some clients who had physical, I'm not saying you'll have this, but physical spinal issues that he could feel it click into place sometimes while we talk. It sounds crazy, right? But like, I'm not making it up. Testimonials are there. But usually money, confidence, clarity is a big one.
Well, clarity is the key.
Yeah.
I got a saying, clarity is gold in the world of chaos. It's clarity. I always say, man, it's easy to get what you want as long as you know what it is. And when people are like, "Well, I know what I want," and I say, "What?" Like, describe it. They can't. They're like, "Well, I mean, to be rich. Okay, what does that look like? What's your house look like? What's your car look like?
Right.
What's the monthly payment on that? What are your taxes? Like, is there is there a homeowners association? Like, you can be general, but then drill it into where eventually, like, if you're kind of almost experiencing it mentally before you ever actually do it, it helps.
Yes,
because they did a study where this group practiced, this group didn't practice, and this group thought about practicing.
Yes. Right.
And the people that thought about it and actually did it had the same result.
Right. I know that study. They did it with piano playing. So,
and basketball and some other ones. So
Really?
so it's like, dude, they've proven you thinking about practicing makes you better.
I thought about this show for lots of time. Like on my flight over here, I sit. People are like, "What's that guy doing?" I just sit. I don't look at phone. I'm present with it. So I was here many hours already, and having this conversation many hours already.
How'd it go?
It went amazing.
Good.
It went amazing. We liked each other. We hit it off. Everybody was like, "Hey, let me have him on the show." People were being helped. The word got out.
Well, a lot of people listen to my show, and if you guys are interested, if you're like, "Dude, I need this guy on my show," because a lot of podcasters, believe it or not, listen to my show. I found out. So reach out, man. Reach out to him at JB the Wizard on Facebook or at The Wizard Is Real, like on Instagram. Follow him, hit him up, shoot him a DM, see if he'll work with you. See if he'll go on your podcast. I'm sure you will, right? As long as there's a vibe and a synergy.
As long as it's in alignment, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what that looks like. I might just have to hire you because, like, I guarantee you, I'm not in total alignment. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should be doing more than I am.
Yes, right.
So that's really the only gap. So again, I'm not fatigued and whatever the hell you were rattling off.
Right.
That's probably most people and a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and that may be the answer. Like, damn, that is why they're fatigued. But I think I'm almost in alignment. In other words, I'm way better than most.
Yeah,
but not quite.
right. Sure.
And I'm tired too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm getting to a point where I think to myself, should I just like retire? Like, again, I mean, like, dude, how much longer do I have? What am I coming to work for? Why am I dropping bombs?
Right.
Why am I helping these people? Should I just go get boats and houses and nice things until I die?
Right.
Or should I partake in the world's opportunities that only the wealthy get to partake in. Well, what's that mean? You know, like go live, travel, eat, do whatever, enjoy. Like it's going to be that fast before it's over.
Right.
Like right now, I'm 50. Dude, I remember being 20 something like it was a couple years ago. I feel the same.
Well, yeah.
Literally. And I think to myself, like, holy shit, dude, I remember like thinking 50's an old man. Like, ooh, 50. Like, you're 50. Like, if I was seeing a girl, like, you'd date a 50-year-old, you sick fuck.
Right.
Well, now I'm married to one, and I'm thankful she'd date a 50-year-old. But you see what I'm saying? My point is like, dude, it went by like that. Now, times that by 2. In 10 years, dude, we might have science that'll let us live to 500. Do you want to live to 500? Can you afford to live to 500? Are you prepared? Are you in alignment? Do you know what you want? What would you do with 500 years? And by the way, before we get off, because I want to make sure we don't run out of time, what does happiness mean to you?
To me personally.
Yeah. Define happiness, because you're saying money won't make you more happy after 72 grand. That's a modest level of money. So, and I get what you're trying to say. I don't know if I fully buy it. But that's because I'm defining happiness as happier than before. Like, in other words, if you said, here, Brad.
Sure, right.
Like, if you didn't have a car, if I didn't have a car and you said, here, Brad, use my Camry. It's a 2020 Camry. It's really nice. It's the LE model, like fully loaded leather Camry.
Right.
And you can use that until you get a car. I'd be like grateful and be like, oh my God, thank you. And that'd make me really happy. That's $72,000 a year.
Sure.
But if I started making, $272,000 a year, and now you gave me a Mercedes that I felt better in, I'd be happier in a Mercedes than I would be a Camry. Why? Because I like kick-ass German cars, kick-ass Italian cars. I like them.
But that would be the reason you'd be happier, because you like that kind of vehicle.
Yeah,
so
but
Warren
that's what I
Buffett
mean.
is in his small little house from the beginning. He's not getting a big old house. Why not? Because it's not in his alignment to. If it's in your alignment to get a gigantic house, get a gigantic house. It's not really a judgment on anything. You just need to figure out what's your truth, right? And through the impact system, the next part is mark, right? Which I'll go through this quickly, but it's meaning to set your goal once you're in alignment. A lot of people make their goals when they're not in alignment. So then they get to their goal and they don't feel good. They feel, something's breaking. It's not working for them. Why? And it's even, they can end up even in a worse state of depression than before. We could solve this by getting in alignment first. The next part is patterns. What are your subconscious beliefs? What are you saying to yourself? What movies are you watching in your mind? Whatever algorithm is programmed in there is getting you the current state of your results. And if you want different results, we've got to go in there and redo some mental reprogramming. So that's the P. And the A is adversity or adjustment. So what happens at this point is that everything that is no longer in alignment begins to fall away. So this could be relationships, money, job, location.
Even if it's a spouse?
Yeah.
So potentially embarking with you could cost you a marriage.
Yes. And that's scary. So
Sure is.
Before people get started, one of the things a lot of clients say is that you need to be ready. Do you actually want the truth, or you just want to want? If you want
because what if someone engaged you and next thing you know, that your truth is you ain't happy and your whole life's about to change. And now everyone goes, and they want to cling on to familiar.
Yes. You didn't even hear that. That's in featuring. You've got to hear some of that. So they want to hold on to familiar. It says familiar is not going to get you to where you want to go. Familiar is not, right? That's what happens with the mind. Familiar keeps you where you are right now. That's what the mind does. And your happiness and your goals, they're not on that side. They're on the other side, which is not where your mind lives. The mind is like, hey, don't go there. Your dreams and your goals are not in that spot, right? So when they want to cling on to familiar.
But they are?
They are what?
Your mind says, hey, don't go there because your dreams and goals are not over there.
No.
But they are?
Your mind says, don't go there because it's scary. You're going to have to release it. Something's going to be different, and different's uncomfortable. What is comfortable is familiar. So the mind is there to keep you safe. That's what the mind is there to do. And so a lot of times you've got to shut that off. You've got to go after that dream and that goal.
So how?
If it's in your alignment, right, then you one of the things I say is everyone needs a mirror to look at the back of their head. Everyone. So when it comes to letting go of what's familiar.
No, can I argue that?
Yeah. Yes.
Because you need two mirrors.
Nice. Okay, listen, you win that one.
True.
Yeah,
I can't see the back of my head with a fucking mirror. Okay. But I can with two.
Right. So the one that's mounted was a given in my world, but let's just whatever. They
call me Literal Lee, by the way.
Literal Lee. Let's give you that. No, you need two.
Because when you gave me one, I'm thinking, okay. I'm thinking, fucking, wait a minute.
You're right. Let's spell this out. You're right. Right. So that's the good thing that happens with the coach. You're not alone. So things that happens with most of these celebrities and CEOs is there's a feeling of aloneness because you're at the top.
See, that's one of those things I could have just made a note and mentioned later.
No, I'm glad you popped it in. It's not gonna throw me off. But right. So what happens here is that there's adjustment that people are having to adjust to. You're not having to do it alone. So CEOs and celebrities, they have so much expectations, so many things that people are waiting for them to do or mess up, or they're just at the top. And who can they turn to for help? So when you have the wizard, that helps you at least not feel alone. And
you can turn to the wizard.
Yeah, when you're not alone, you could accomplish a lot more.
But you can only work with so many people at a time then.
That's right. That's right. So thank goodness we're creating a group situation to bring people through the impact system in a group setting.
Well, not only just a system, but I mean, you could create a program where they go through themselves and then and they reach out if they and when they need to ask some serious questions. Because if you virtualized yourself with like a Lightspeed system where someone paid or you did it free, it doesn't matter, but they log in, you pop up and emulate what you would really do in person, so you can ask questions with our system. The video allows you to interact and ask questions, but literally emulate what you would do in real life. Would it be as good as the real conversation? Well, of course not, because you could notice I'm twitching. You could notice, my apprehension in answering with an interactive program. You couldn't notice those things, at least for now. AI's coming, dude. Pretty soon you'll be amazed. But point being is, I can virtualize probably a close emulation of what you would have said and asked and responded like with a virtual system that could be scalable, where 1 million people could go through the course, but 1 million people can't hire you in September.
Right.
So you should think about scaling like that, because if this really makes that big of an impact, no pun intended with the acronym.
Boom.
But if this makes that big of an impact, especially with CEOs, especially with high-level executives and profiles, like, if you go worked with any high-profile person and they mentioned you, dude, that your book would be jam-packed. The only thing that could raise up is your prices.
Right.
Because, dude, like, I have 1 million people that want me every day. I can book my entire day. The only thing that would go up is how much per hour.
Right.
And the more people that want you, that you're limited though.
Right. 100%.
Why not virtualize it?
Right. That's the goal. So we're working on that now, turning this into a course so that more people can have access to it. And the book is one touch point too.
And in that book, by the way, as they're going through that book, there should be an interactive companion tool to where when you buy the book, you get a virtual companion, resource, let's say.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can help you think through that. I don't want to ruin me pitching you or showing you what I would do if I were you on the episode, because I want to get through this.
All right, so we'll keep going.
Impact.
So the A was the adversity. Something is going to break at some point,
and you got to be willing to do it.
Yeah, you got you got to be willing to go through that.
Is it like there will be adversity?
There will be adversity
every time. So it's almost like, if you don't want any pain and challenging, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes I feel like, man, if I ever like try to go be real religious and follow the word and all this, number one, you have to figure out which one's right.
Okay.
Then
right.
Number two, you have to give up all your earthly pleasures. Like, he says, don't whack it. he says, don't eat meat, don't eat meat. He said, whatever the rules are, you have to give up. And if you go back to the old days, like the Torah, you go back to the old days, man, them some strict rules.
They seem strict, but
what about like you can't drive on a Saturday or?
Well, yeah. But I mean,
I know, but like you're like, well, yeah, like.
I mean, normal. No, it's in my alignment. If it's not, then it's not. So whatever your alignment will be, you will be glad to.
If you live in Miami,
a
rabbi circled the whole island, and so that's technically home.
It's called an Eruv. Right. So yeah, you can carry an Eruv.
If I was there, I'd be living there.
But you can't drive in the eel. But
Yeah, like there's people out there partying when they shouldn't be, and they're like, "Oh, the string does it."
no, that's not how that works.
Research it. I swear.
No, I believe you. It's just not how it works.
Well, no, I think they found a loophole.
There are a few.
They don't
loopholes.
have strings out of their clothes.
Okay. Well, if it's
Again,
in their
they're-
alignment, cool.
Those buddies I'm talking about, they just claim they're Jewish. I don't think they're.
They might be like, their mom might be Jewish or something, which is fine.
Okay, so
but that's
adversity.
That's adversity. But again, once you go through the I, you will feel so
What's the I again?
in alignment.
In alignment.
It's
Once you
good-
get in alignment.
Yeah, once you get that, and the next thing is your mark, you just set yourself a goal that's in alignment with the core of who you are as a human being. And then we're looking at your patterns, which is the P, which is what's holding you back or keeping you from getting to your goal. This could be, I deal with CEOs who have stage fright, and they're multi-million-dollar companies, or maybe they can talk on stage all day long, but they don't feel 100% in control, and that bothers the mess out of them. So they want to get rid of that, just a little tweak they want to get rid of. So by the time you get to the adversity, it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's how it feels. So then what happens is C, which is combination or competition. So what we look at here is what's trending in the marketplace, whatever it is that you're doing. So we see what's working with human behavior in this particular decade or 5 years now. Then we look at what's happening in the marketplace so that you don't do that. Because if everybody's doing it, then what do we need you there for, right? So what is unique about what you're doing? And third part is how do we put a combination together? So the iPhone, for example, when it first came out, it wasn't the first one with the technology, but they were the first one to combine them all together in this beautiful way to create this new product. So when it comes to you as a human being, once we get your alignment and then the goal and then your subconscious patterns and behaviors, all of that together to then create a unique product, that's happy. And that's C. That's what we do with C. The T part is technical. So we take a look at what do we need to do to express that, to communicate that to the world. How can we have you authentically and excitedly sharing your vision? I'm passionate about futuring. I'm passionate about alignment, right? What is yours? And how can we have you communicating that to where you're tapped into your atomic core and then doing it in a way that's effective to you? People who are spending $200,000-$300,000 a month on Facebook. It works, quote unquote, but it doesn't mean that it works. What I mean by that is that works for this guy. It doesn't mean that you should. This is a big thing with entrepreneurs. All of these courses and all of these things, just because it's working for this person here or 10,000 people does not mean you should do it. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. The big thing is your alignment. So don't chase the money. Everything makes money. Money is the easy part. Buy low, sell. Like it's not hard. The hard part is it in alignment with you? Once it is, then you can go on fire. You can go full throttle. You won't tire, and then you'll find opportunities coming your way that wouldn't have come your way. You can crush it. Yep. So that's the impact system. The seventh week, we start to scale this. So how can we scale your alignment? How can we continue to incorporate what I call extreme balance techniques? I created something else called extreme balance. So because we all want balance, but we also want a goal that's far away. So you can't accomplish that if you're in balance, because balance inherently means like you're good to go. You're right here. So we need extreme form of that scalability. That happens in the 7th week. And then 8 is how do we send you on the road, right? So where it's all complete and you're good to go. You might want to check in with the wizard, every now and again, or continue. Some people, work with me for 6 months, 9 months, they do. But the goal is that you be good to go.
That's fine. How do you check?
Because there are things that could get you out of alignment.
Isn't there do you have an opportunity where there's got to be some way to check in with the wizard through text or email if I'm at a high enough level?
Telegram. Yeah. I don't do email. I don't use email. It's not in my alignment.
just Telegram?
Telegram, yeah.
What do you mean?
By which part?
Like I got to send you a telegram?
Yeah, well, no, there's an app called Telegram.
Oh.
You got to send the owl. It has to fly. You got to send the flying owl.
How the hell does anyone get a hold of you? If you were telling me by telegram, you have to call a company and have them send a telegram. That'd be hilarious.
Or kind of super cool. That's a cool
Well,
idea.
not only that, dude, I'd start to say, dude, you know what you are, and you don't even know it?
What?
A branding expert.
Ooh. Time for that owl.
I know. I'm just saying, like, dude, you got the whole thing,
whole
dude,
thing.
all
And
the
that's
way
what
down
happens.
to the fucking owl delivery
That's right.
system.
That's right. And when all of these expressions of it, when you've got your thing, they'll naturally flow out. If you don't have your atomic core, you will run yourself ragged trying to do everything that works.
What do you think I'm doing wrong, just based on knowing me and knowing of me?
What you're doing wrong. I don't know that I would say that that way.
How come I'm not already a billionaire? How come I'm already not
Happier.
because I want to be happier. Now again, this is the thing though. Look, I listen to everybody and I respect everybody's opinion. However, sometimes I have a different opinion. So in certain cases I don't. In certain cases, like I believe that. Well, whatever I believe is what's causing me to do and say and choose the things I'm choosing and saying and doing.
That's right.
And the shit that I'm choosing and saying and doing is getting me what I'm getting.
That's right.
And it's not a fucking billion.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. So what we gotta
Listen,
do, we gotta put you on the table and just open you up. It's really simple.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, like, I'm smart enough to know that fucking, hey, I think I want a billion. Maybe I don't.
That's
maybe
right.
it's not maybe it's not my fucking alignment, and I really don't. Someone told me I did.
Right.
And that's why I'm fucking on this goose chase to prove to somebody I'm capable.
Right. And when you find out clearly what it is, then you feel freedom.
Yeah, and then maybe it'll be like, fuck, who wants $1 billion, dude? You know what I want? I want a fucking time to fish and some fucking, salmon peach power bait.
Yes.
For the fucking hook.
That's
and
right.
now all of a sudden I'm just like, shit, what am I doing here?
And all
I
of a sudden,
sell my shares in Lightspeed and I fucking head to the mountains.
And I'm not saying then your billions would come, but it's possible.
Who cares if they come?
Then it wouldn't matter, right?
I'm fishing.
It's like
and
a baby.
I can check in with the wizard when I want.
Boom! There it is. Drop a bomb on that. Bow.
Hey, but in all kidding, in all
seriousness,
mm-hmm. If I want to like really look at what I believe is everything I'm saying and doing is based on what I believe. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Consciously or unconsciously.
Right.
And that has to change because that's what's getting me what I'm getting.
That's right.
Although what I'm getting is far greater than most achieve, it's not even close to what the fuck I think I deserve, what I want, and all that. And then I start to get this, why? What the hell am I saying and doing wrong? Now, most people, again, be like, damn, I thought you preached being grateful. Well, I am fucking grateful. That's why it's a struggle. Like, It's almost like, dude, because I do believe totally I'm way, like, fortunate. Like, dude, I don't need a nicer car. I don't need a nicer house. That ain't going to make me happier. And that's true. But for some reason, I feel there's a missing thing. Why? Because I think I want billions, and I can see the houses and the spots and the toys and the people that I'm helping and the situations where anyway, I'm not where I want to be, but maybe I don't want to be where I think I do.
Well, what we just take a look at is what you're saying, then we look at what you're doing, then we find out what the truth is, and then we just figure out the plot points, how to get you there.
Have you ever worked with somebody and they found out they don't want to be rich? Then they're fucked because now they've got a life of poor ahead of them. That's why sometimes people don't want to go religious.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes people are scared to pray that God answers them or uses them any way they see fit because, what if he wants to use me in a wheelchair to spread a message of, in other words, am I going to be crushed so he can test my love?
Well, we have to check the context of the religion that we're speaking, and it doesn't matter.
I know, but the bottom line is if someone loves their hope or their faith or their deity that much, measles.
But it depends on which deity.
Pox, whatever, doesn't matter.
But if your outlook on your particular deity, it literally doesn't. You can believe in numbers, gods, animals, doesn't matter. Multi-gods, it literally doesn't matter. Whatever construct you're creating for yourself, and the one that you decide you want to believe, right? You want to ask yourself, is that one, and this is a hard part, but if you get honest, is that one that you want? And if it's the one that you like or want to believe in, hold on to that and then find your truth within that. So let's say he wants you to be poor, right? So if he's saying that, number one, this is fear again. We're just afraid. So all we need to do is simply change your prayer. Now, and this goes in line, especially with Christian idea, you can co-create with him. Now you can co-create with God as opposed to saying, I'll do whatever you want me to do, which is almost like being a content victim. Whatever you want, you can make, I'm not even going to say it, like you do this negative thing, this negative thing, this negative thing, right? But what would happen if we said, hey, this is exactly what I want. I need your help. I'm going to keep doing it until you help me. How about that? You know, like, depends on how you decide you want to speak to your particular deity. We could figure that out in a truthful way. And then it can open up for you can unlock, because we find out that this view that we have of what we're afraid of happening is one that we got from a human, not even from the deity. So why not just listen to the thing that we're suggesting we actually believe in and get rid of the negative things that are coming from humans, which you don't want to worship humans anyways?
What if someone doesn't believe at all?
In what?
In anything.
That's fine.
How do they get through it?
Let's give an example. Let's say they believe in, like, atheists. They believe in
or they just want
energy.
like, yeah, there's no God. That's all bullshit. So just, you know, what do I believe? I believe we're dead and we're dead. So, but right now, damn it, dude, I want to be rich.
Okay, so it'd be the same thing, because all of these constructs are constructs, right? So I'm not here to judge this religion or that religion. I do my thing. It's in alignment with me. So if this person believes in no religion whatsoever, and let's say they don't believe in consequences or something, so then they don't believe in, like, gravity. If what goes up comes down, that sort of thing. So I just figure out, what do you believe in, and then why? Then turns out they might have been hurt. Like, it's really simple. Like, everybody's human. No matter what country,
like
culture.
use an example though. Like maybe you were working with someone and they said, I believe this, and then they realized, oh, it was because their uncle never fucking liked them.
Yeah, that happens daily.
Yeah, but like, give me an example.
Obviously, this is also confidential. If
don't use any names.
Right. There are people who were a part of a religion, and then they begin to notice inconsistencies with the religion, and not only their particular outlook of what they thought God should be, but also inconsistency with what their parents said that he was. When that happened, they started to act in a way that's different than how they were raised.
So hypocrites.
Well, these people were hypocrites, but now this person saw that hypocrisy and then started to behave differently. So the issue is simply, why are you looking at those people, though? We can't cause your behavior. They have the reign. You're a slave to them. We can't have you be a slave to Johnny and Sarah. You have to be in control of your own life. So just because they hurt you, God forbid, but if that happened, take your reins back. What do you believe and why? And you might have to do a little bit of homework, what we call soul searching, but we'll do it together so you're not alone.
Do you know how to soul search?
That's all I do.
So you walk with people and teach them how to search their souls.
Yeah.
See, that's another good brandable thing.
That is. Click that soul into alignment. But the big thing is bridging that gap between the spiritual world and this physical world. Because a lot of times people view spirituality as over here. No money. I'm just poor, but I love God or helping people. And then this one's rich and then he hates God. Like, they don't need to be like that. They can just be right here. Be wealthy, rich, helping people, religious, not religious. You could be all of these things. But you can design your own life. Create that.
And then whatever that is. Mm-hmm. And I think at the end of the day, even though we've only been on an hour, at the end of the day, I believe that the alignment would probably be equal to a combination.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone has their own alignment.
That's right.
So your alignment isn't necessarily my alignment.
It's certainly not.
So like if you eat bark and cacao chocolate all day.
Right, which clearly I do.
That's out of my alignment. Why? Because I like fucking chicken fried steak, for example.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
Then I like chicken fried steak and not cacao. Buddy of mine comes in with that hat that you wear.
Well, this is custom made, so you can't walk in with his hat. You know what I'm saying? There's only one of these.
I know, but those are cool hats. Like, you gotta be cool. But my buddy has a hat like that,
right.
And he comes in and he eats this chocolate, and it looks so good because he's eating chocolate.
Okay.
And then one day he said, "Dude," I said, "Dude, what is that?" He said, "It's chocolate." I said, that doesn't look like chocolate." He said, "Oh yeah, it's freaking good. It's freaking delicious." So he gave me a spoonful, and it was cacao chocolate.
It's really bitter.
No, it wasn't that bad compared to, like, I mean, it wasn't as good as a freaking Hershey bar because that's filled with sugar and shit and stuff you don't want. Corn syrup.
Right. This
is pure, organic, like, vegan health nut chocolate bark or something. I forget what it's called, but It wasn't that bad, dude.
I think when we deal with different people's alignment, there is a temptation to want everybody to do what it is that we're doing, or believe whatever it is that we're believing. And I think that once we remove that desire and need for everyone to conform to whatever we think is best, you can then find out and give room to everybody to tap into the one message. So it could be at some point people tend to do similar things, but that would be them finding it.
But can I have my own alignment? Does everybody have their own, or is there one for everybody?
The best way to describe this again is the radio signal. There's one message, but there are a lot of antennas. We're all antennas.
What's the message? Let's just cut to the chase.
I would say that's a super chase. But again, I would say for me, my thing is freedom. I'm really serious about people being free, unlocked, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I'm very serious about that. So everything that I do, everything that I particularly touch, is some form of that kind of a healing. So if it's the book, if it's coaching, if it's making a film, it doesn't matter. Anything that, if it's a hug, everything comes from that spot for me. And everybody has a job. Everybody has a frequency that you have to tune into. And when you can tap into whatever yours is, you can do that with 100% purity. And that's power. It's like tapping into the light socket. It's just a lot of electricity. So again, it may not be freedom, but it'll be something else, I guess what we would call positive. So the one message is one that revolves around, some people might say love or positivity. Some people might say abundance. There are a lot of different English words for these things.
Abundance is a good one.
Yeah. A lot of Hebrew word is tikkun olam. A lot of people know that one. It's like rectifying the world again. So that we're unified and working together, understanding there's plenty of room for all of us, and we can see each other as one human thing, because that's what we are.
Yeah, now there's someone listening to this podcast. I don't know who, but I know they're listening right now, and they're literally gonna change their whole life from the next thing you talk about. So what do you feel like talking about? What's one message that someone needs? They're listening, and you're gonna speak to them right now. What would that be?
Listen to yourself. You have the answers.
And that's the truth too.
That would be the thing.
And guess what? That could have been more than one person listening, because that freaking made me think, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? Like, dude, one message could affect a lot of people at the same time. But I was thinking, like, if I've been to churches before where the pastor is up there talking and he says, I don't know who's out there listening, but God wants me to tell you to that was for one of you. I don't know who. And then you like, dude, come on. Like, somebody, just human nature, it tells you that someone's going to identify with that shit.
Right.
Like, you could have said anything and someone identified with it. Like, literally, it's crazy what I start to see in human behavior. Do you study a lot of human behavior?
All day, every day, nonstop. I'm fascinated with humans. That's what brings me to, this helps me to help them, unlock them. All sales, all communication, it really comes down to communicating with another human being, which is what I do and what other people need to do as well.
Would you go as far as to say communication is key?
Communication is certainly key.
That's why I own the website and the word communication.
Do you really? Nice.
Because I believe communication is key.
Right. And with effective communication, right, sales is simply conveying my belief and my passion and my excitement over to you so that you have it. It's just conveying that, right? And then we come up with a karmic energy balance, which is what we usually call some sort of financial exchange or energetic exchange or time exchange, right? But when it comes to this communication, I say with public speaking and all of this, listening. That's why majority of calls is just listening. Almost no one knows how to listen. Everything is everything is listening. Everything is listening. So we say, JB, how can I get better at public speaking? By listening. The whole thing is listening. Like right now when I'm talking with you, I'm listening. I listen with my eyes. I listen with my energy. I'm listening with everything. There are words coming out right now, but it's going to match what I am hearing. That's communicating. Talking is not communicating. That's like throwing stuff on the wall, hoping something will stick. That's not communication, right? So communication is certainly key. And a big part of that, if I would say the number one aspect of all communication, sales, speaking, pitching, emails, text messages, businesses, is listening.
And then knowing what to say.
If you listen, you'll know what to say.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because, again, I don't know how you stumbled across me, but if you look at my teachings, my scripture, I tell people listening is massively important, because a lot of these sales guys, they come to me because they want to learn how to sell and close and, get more in sales, because I used to do that. But everyone always says, what's the thing? I say listening. That's the key to sales too.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like, I think there's some universal truths out there, and people say it the way they say it, but it's all kind of, there's this one source of truth.
Absolutely.
And I wish someone could just bottle it.
When it comes to featuring, the thing about that featuring is that it's hard. I was speaking with somebody the other day, another personality, and he was saying, is it astral projection? And it's not. So there's astral projection, there's quantum physics, there's manifesting, there's abundant, there's so many things. And the thing with featuring is the intent is that it should be accessible to people. Dr. Suess is accessible. The story is accessible. Featuring is accessible. These drawings are. Because if you get a few scientists to understand quantum physics and the molecular structure of things and how, you're going to lose a lot of the population. But if we can raise the frequency, if you like, of the masses and just enable them to connect at whatever level they can connect on, that's going to change, in my opinion, the world and start to set all of it free.
And featuring is basically designing your life.
Yeah, featuring is life design. Yeah, living your full potential, creating the life that you want to live, and you can co-create.
And how long would a normal person take from reaching out to you to frickin' exhalation, What do you call that?
Yep. Within the first week, they'll breathe again.
Within the first week?
Yeah, I'm not. This is what the clients say. So it seems like because I thought you need 6 months, or you need this is because for me I feel like this is my whole life, right? This is my whole everything.
What if somebody says who clients? Like, can I call people? Do you have a list of people that would go,
for sure,
dude, you better pay the wizard immediately? This guy is magic.
Yes,
this guy is literally life changing.
Yeah,
they would.
Yeah, all my clients would do that.
Every one of them.
Mm-hmm. Every one of them. Yep.
And there's famous ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't necessarily give all their names out.
No, I can't. But
I'm wanting to know which ones you roughly. What do you charge? Because like this guy that's calling me right now.
Yeah,
dude. I if I introduce him to you, dude, he'll write you a check right now, dude. He's into all that stuff, and he's wanting to He's wanting to get in alignment. I know a lot of people that want to get into alignment. Like I said, maybe I'll hire you, and then when everyone goes, Jesus, what happened to you, Brad? I'll be like, it was futuring. Would you like to future with me? Would you like to future with me?
Why do you talk different all of a sudden? You woke with the wizard and now you're from Britain. It's like, I can't explain it. It just happens.
Dude, it sounds like Harry Potter mixed with a little bit of Dr. Seuss and a whole lot of, like, sorcery. Even almost like Game of Thrones.
All right.
Like blue dragons, black dragons. Things grumbly things.
Right. Walking through these grumbly things, looking for almost anything that doesn't bite or squirm or swing or try and take your pretty things is almost impossible.
See, dude, that sounds like people want to order the book. You should have a pre-order page up.
Right. So I'll probably get on that like within the week now.
I know, but tell me, because this won't drop for a minute. So right now I could say go here and you make it happen. You future. Let's future right now.
Right.
Let's make the future.
Futurewiththewizard.com. I think I have it.
Future with the Wizard?
Futurewiththewizard.com, yeah.
You guys go check out futurewiththewizard.com. Take out a pen, a piece of paper, or just, obviously can't forget Future with the Wizard. If not, go follow him on Instagram, and he'll be back on Dropping Bombs, so you can DM me. I'll get you in touch with him. But if you could just change anybody's life right now, you'd just say, reach out to me, get my book, or where would you begin? If someone's somewhat capable, meaning they got a little wherewithal financially, right, they should call you and just like have you do a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or should everyone just start with the book, or what do you want people to do?
One-on-one. If they've got the wherewithal and they're ready, and then they're serious, right, and open to going through that, right, and they take it seriously, then one-on-one, go that route. Next, people would do a group, sort of a session that's coming out next month or so. And then in 4 or 5 months, they'll get the book, but that will just be part of everybody's story.
Yeah. And that book, you wrote it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that beginning that I was privy to,
right?
You guys want the book just for the beginning. That's not even the meat.
That's right. It's true.
Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming out, JB. That was a long trip.
Yeah.
Just to pop out here.
I felt there was a karmic energy balance there.
Well, I think the Bomb Squad feels the same. They're going to go pre-order your book, follow you, and hit you up in the DMs. Man, it feels like I want to just keep talking. Like ending is not in my alignment. But this is like the longest in the history of the world. I should turn it into a Joe Rogan podcast.
What would that look like?
They're like 4 hours.
Whoa.
Because again, I mean, dude, I could keep talking all the way down these roads. Like the first one's in alignment. Once you're in alignment, then you set your mark. Who helps me set that mark?
We set it together.
And then what questions or series of questions are you asking me to figure out what my patterns are? Because my beliefs are why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And in order to change my belief, what's your thoughts on how do you change a belief?
One of the biggest steps to changing the belief is simply to first be aware of it. And once you realize where it came from and that it's really you, it's really powerful, because then you can just let it go or keep it. It's up to you.
What about like if you run into the dark side? What happens when you talk to someone like, hey, tell me what you really feel, and someone looks up and goes like, I just want to fucking kill dogs. Right. Like, what? Oh, sorry. I didn't know that was the real. That was the real me. Right. So we futured too deep.
This is what's great about this. I think I get this from my father. You just see people. One of the things that happened with my dad that it sticks out to me a lot. There was a girl. She had cerebral palsy, and she could barely control her wheelchair, right? And she couldn't talk, just kind of grunt and groan. And it would make some people uncomfortable to go around her, not quite knowing what to say and if she's responding or not. But my father would walk up every week. "What's going on?" He would say her name. "What's going on? How are you doing?" He would just talk with her, just talk. And he was hearing her, and it was not like she's got this problem. He just saw her. So seeing that, and then growing up with my father, that's all it is. So if somebody goes to the dark side, it's not even that there is a dark side. It's just you. So one of the big things is there is actually I don't care. I just don't care. If you want to kill dogs, if you want to do whatever, it just doesn't matter to me. What does matter is that we find out what the actual truth is. Most of the time, that's not the truth. That's a top layer. And most people are afraid or concerned of it. When you yourself are concerned with that dark spot, you cannot find your truth because you're too scared to go there. And then if other people are afraid to go there with you, you can't talk to anyone. So what do you feel? You feel alone. And then you feel trapped. And you cannot solve a problem there.
Yeah. And that's a lot of people, because I can see it. I can sense it. That's why there's this quote unquote 1%. Dude, there's a 1% of futurists or futured. What do you call someone that went through you?
Great question. I'm not sure yet. Futuring graduate.
or time traveler.
Yeah,
could be, because
they might become wizards as well. Who knows?
People. If you want to create a cult, you would have to. Nice. You would have to create some sort of symbolism to where they do achieve something. Yeah, like a wizard. Like I want to be a warlock, dude. If
my son was asking me the other day, Dad, what's the difference between a wizard and a warlock?
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. If right now, vampires were real and you could be bit by one, based on the movie. What's it called? The movie
Twilight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like cool vampire, not
Not Bram Stoker.
not dumb ones,
So you can actually go in the sun and sparkle,
Yeah.
as opposed to get burned up.
yeah.
All right.
Again, whatever the rules were in Twilight, but
Right.
you live forever.
Sure.
Would you elect to get bit?
I don't know if I would elect to get bit.
I would.
Um,
I'd be begging that one vampire chick to bite me.
See, the question really for me is, what if you could accomplish living forever in a different way than being bit? That's
Who
what.
cares?
That's the question.
But being bit's a guarantee. Like I want to shine in the sun.
Well, then that's what you want.
I want to be a diamond.
We'd have to
skin.
figure out why you want diamond skin. I personally like blue.
Probably
like
because I
Avatar.
want to be adored somehow.
Okay.
I think maybe when I was little,
Yeah.
I have psychological damage because my real mom gave us all away,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe there's abandonment issues. So now I just want to be adored because I was never mothered. Who knows? And now maybe this billion is because if I get a billion, everyone will love me. Why? Because I believe society loves billionaires. Like for example, there's celebrities, and then there's billionaires. Who would you rather have? A billionaire. Like the other day I was at a party, there was a billionaire in the room and then a bunch of celebrities in the room. And the celebrities were being told, there's the billionaire. And the celebrities were like, ooh, I need to be introduced to them. And the celebrities were asking to be introduced to the billionaires or the billionaire. Why?
Wow.
Because a billionaire is way more fucking rare than a celebrity. Don't you think?
So billionaire is a strong word. Again, that can be a role. Billionaire is a person. It's a type of person. Now, if we could align that person with the actual physical expression of that, and they have actual also physical billion USDs, then that's a situation.
Okay,
but
how about powerful?
Influential.
Influential.
Right? Some people say that some billionaires are closer and have more in common with a houseless person than with multimillionaires, right? Because it's a type of a person.
Influential, powerful.
Influential, powerful. Okay.
Are we working? Does this work?
If that's what the what? If that's what the person wants. So let's say you
like,
got this.
Is it like if I hired you, would this be part of our conversation? Because I'm giving you words that I feel like when I think, why do I want a billion? I don't know. If you ask me why a billionaire, I do believe that they're influential and they're powerful. I mean, if you had $1 billion, dude, you literally are very powerful.
Yeah, we'd have to define that.
Even if you're not aware of it.
We'd have to define that, yeah, because again, are you that person? Do you understand what that word means, and is that who you are, right? Because it's again not.
Do you have a test online of any kind?
No, but I have in my little book here, my handy dandy, a test that I'm getting ready to construct about. Are you in alignment? That's the test.
Yeah. All right, well, folks, listen. You guys better go check him out. The Wizard is real, and by the way, that's almost like the Wizard Israel.
That's big that you picked it up. My name is Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but it's the Wizard
it's
Israel.
It's play. It's your type of play. Yeah.
It's
like the Wizard
entendre.
Exactly.
Although Israel's spelled different.
It is spelled different. So it's like Israel is Israel, but Israel is real. You want real, the real deal, then that's.
Yeah, and then I'm the real Brad Lee. Why do people call me the real? Couple of reasons.
Tell me, I'm ready.
But that's for another episode. Folks, listen. Appreciate you joining us. I would share this out to everybody you know just because I think the vibe just struck you to. Until the next time, keep it real.